What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we'll be talking about Zcash. Okay, it is the third day of November. $388 is the price. 8 hours and 52 minutes left in the day. We're down a little bit today, 7%, but so is the rest of the market. I'm very much under the belief, under the impression that Zcash has more to go. It's no fun being down, and if you bought the top, you're down a little bit right now. But wait a day or two, you're gonna be seeing new relevant highs here pretty soon. I want to look at something that's not on Coinbase. I want to look at the all-time history chart and just remind you guys that here we've broken above this point here. So I really do believe this move will persist higher until we're up to this point here. We'll probably find some turbulence just above this point. Mark my words, this move overall, what we're looking at here, is not going to stop until we are above this point, or at the very, very least, somewhere very close to it, $900. So until we're above $900, I don't think this move stops. And if we look here, we look at this relative high here to a relative low here. The money zone, which I've identified as the money zone, is right here between about $712 to $927. That takes us right there, man. I mean, it's right there. We could literally hit the top of this money zone, double top more or less with that high, and then consolidate. I don't think that'll be the end of the cycle. I very much do believe that Zcash will see a price that is worth $5,000 or more by the end of this bull run. I really do, and that'll probably be sometime in 2026. That's my expectation. But I do believe that before we get any kind of significant consolidation at all, we will see prices that are at least above $700, but probably around $900 or higher as well. And what do I mean by significant consolidation? I mean something that lasts longer than just a week and a half, something that lasts longer than 5 days, right? Something that you consolidate. You have a little bit of a range, right? You double top. You wonder if it's the end of the bull market for you or not. You slip, and then people capitulate, and then boom, then you rally, right? A consolidation phase, a proper consolidation phase that lasts for over a month, right? We're not going to see that until we're at least at $712, if not $927 or thereabouts. Could we go a little bit higher? Could we go a little bit lower? Blah blah blah. But I think that we'll probably interact with this high, and probably just above it would be my guess. Okay. Again, one last time, looking at this for what it is, it's as if we're in a giant W, right? Giant W here. When you break the nipple, when you break above the midpoint there, you keep going until you're done, until you complete the pattern. We haven't completed it yet. So even though we're getting tied up here, I hope nobody's getting discouraged, right? Bitcoin's moving down. The rest of crypto's moving down. It's okay. It's part of the process. If we look at this here from a relative high to a relative low, you've hit the 1886, pulled back to the, literally pulled right back to the 1414 area. Typically, you do touch that line. So again, we could come down a little bit lower, and it still is okay. We could go down to 361, and it's fine. The low yesterday was at 367. That's a little bit higher than what I would have expected for this kind of range, but we can find support there. That could be the low, and we move up higher. It's not a big deal. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom out from there and see where our next kind of areas of intent are. 1 hour time frame here. Looking at this with our indicators, handy dandy indicators, the RSI does make me think we're going lower, right? Lower lows, lower highs, downtrend, rejecting the 50. Makes me think that we are going to go lower, so let's forecast that. Looking at the stochastics, looks like we want to go lower. And the MACD, you are building some bullish momentum, but you could still come lower as well. So the 1 hour time frame really does agree with the idea that we go lower. Does that mean that we go lower than the slow? No, but again, it's somewhat common enough to go from the 1886 200 area, which is exactly where we tipped, to go from there to the 1414. It's actually somewhat common enough. We got very close to it, but we didn't hit it yet. So 1 hour time frame suggesting that we go down to 360, 361. That's fine. Do it. I dare you. It's fine. We could go lower too. I doubt that we go as low as 337, but even if we went that low, I think we'd be fine. The only reason I don't think we do that is we'd be breaking below this prior consolidation phase's resistance points. I just don't think that we're going to do that. I think that we skim this level and we bounce like we did here, but maybe a little bit lower. 4 hour time frame here, zooming in or zooming out a little bit more. You are building bearish momentum on the MACD. It's very common in situations like this to come down and scoop the zero, bounce off the zero. You don't actually have to come all the way to the zero. You could bounce somewhere just above it, and that's fine, right? Like kind of like you did here, or here you bounce just below it, whatever. It's not really a direct line of focus. It's more of an area as a whole. So the 4 hour MACD telling us here we can go lower. It's fine if we do. It's not a problem. The stochastics are bearish at the moment, suggesting that we go lower as well. And the RSI overall is very bullish, actually. What I'll say here is that if we do move down a little bit, it's not going to hurt it, right? You can move down a little bit more even, and it's not going to hurt it. I think that we're fine. So Overall, I am expecting lower prices for Zcash right now. And again, as I stated in the very beginning of this video, so that we set the tempo off on the right pace here, or we got the, I don't know, what should I say? We got the mood right. I don't know. I think the Zcash has higher prices to go to. So even though we're going lower first, we still have higher prices. This is an overall move. It's a process, okay? It's just like here, from a low to a high, if I was up here saying, I still think we're going higher, we just might move lower first. Well, we move lower first and then we move higher. You know, that's all that's happening here. We're still going to move higher. We're just going to move lower first. Does that mean that we go below this low? No. If you're counting on prices below 360 or 368, if you're counting on prices below this low, don't count on it, right? It doesn't have to happen. We very well could hold a higher low. But at this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised. I am calling, I suppose, for something just below this low, holding support at 361, 360, and then we move up higher, okay? 4-hour time frame really looks great overall. You're just at points where you would expect to go a little bit lower on these indicators. Daily time frame. The daily time frame is fantastic. Overbought on the RSI, overbought on the stochastics, super hot on the MACD. I don't think, yeah, we haven't seen readings like this in such a long time. It's just crazy. We're not going to get much off the MACD here, or really off of any of these indicators. We've cooled off. We've come out of the overbought zone now. We're right there. We could find support at any minute. Again, just getting that, you know, this idea in your head that even if you are waiting for lower prices, it might just be a good idea to buy here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but 388. What we're seeing on these indicators are very, very powerful readings. And I can't imagine that we're going to see this downward sloping move persist for too much longer. Like what, you go to 360, 350 at the lowest, and then you're back up before you know it, you're back at 460, 500, pushing on higher, right? Again, the target from here at a minimum is like double what the current price is. The minimum target from here is like a double in what the current price is. There will be stops along the way, as there have been now. If we look at this from a high here to a low here, is this the right? That's not the right fib. I'm sorry. Where is it? Okay, I was taking this high to low. I meant to take this high to low. This high to low here. You know, we're above the 2272. We might stop at $521. Might consolidate there a little bit, pull back here on our way to $700 to $927. But ultimately, you guys, again, this zone, the two orange lines, it's a zone. It's not like two levels specifically to respect. And I mean, maybe you do respect them specifically, but it's more of a zone. That's the money zone. That's where I think we're going to go. And we likely see this happen. I mean, I feel very safe in saying that we see this happen by the end of November. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we pumped here by the end of November, started to consolidate, rest of the market catches up, and then going into the end of the year, if not going into January, we start to pump and move higher. I don't really have anything else that I want to say, so I'll probably just end it there. Zcash overall looks spectacular. If this week closes red, 6 days, 9 hours left, if this week does close red, then we have bearish divergence on the weekly RSI. That's my cat if you guys hear him meowing. He wants wet food or something, I don't know. He literally just walked up meowing and then walked back meowing. Hey Fiki, shh, shh, or come here. Maybe he's just, it's kind of weird actually. Come here. Are you okay? He looks kind of odd actually. He's got this like strange look in his eye. Maybe he's just tired. You okay? I think he's okay. I think he's just being annoying. He probably was second guessing. He's like, am I being too annoying? Should I come over there? Oh, he's a good boy. You can see his tail, maybe. Let's see. No, not really. Right there. Yeah, hey. Anyways, bearish divergence. He's a good boy. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh. We're going to have a cat moment right there. This is Rafiki. He doesn't make appearances too much. It's normally Mufasa that does, but he's actually the friendlier one. This guy is like a dog. He will lick you, man. He really will. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. I have a buddy who found him and his brother in a tree when they were like not even a couple months old. Like they were very, very young kittens. And well, long story short, they're with me now. Anyways, they're big cats, bro. They're beautiful, great big cats. Anyways, he's like a dog. That's all he wanted was some love. He walked away now. Now he's not meowing. Anyways, lower highs here, bearish divergence, back to work. That divergence formed here at this price. Okay. My only thoughts are, I'm sure we're not the only people looking at this bearish divergence. This week is brand new, 6 days and 9 hours left. There's a whole lot of time to come back up and close the week green. If the week is green, then we don't have a downward sloping move here in the RSI. We're actually building in the RSI. So I have a feeling that people are going to be looking for this bearish divergence to make a play off if they're going to go short, and that's going to wreck them. Don't forget, last week, if we look at last week here, the week opened up right here as well. It actually opened up right there, and we had some divergence there as well. And we didn't really have any red that week, did we? Let me see. Can I delete this? Let me just delete this line. We had a little bit of red. From an opening point, from an open to a low, we did drop like 4%. At that point, people are looking at this as bearish divergence going what's the word that I'm looking for? Going short. Maybe not. Maybe they wouldn't be. Would they be? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading this wrong. Okay. This week closed here. So then it was last week. My bad. At this point here, from a high to a low, we were down 8% at one point. Okay, a little bit more than we are now even. And people were probably looking at it as if we were bearish divergence. We had bearish divergence there, and we did. But the week came back up and closed green, so therefore we actually grew in the RSI. I think we're going to see the same thing here. People are probably going to make short bets based off of this because the weekly RSI is in the 90s. Of course, you should go short here. And the reality is, guys, we could push from here $387. We could push all the way up to that $900 price. We could even push through this bearish divergence, maybe finishing off with a double top overall or a slightly higher high, and then from that point we probably go down, right? I wouldn't buy into this bearish divergence on the weekly is all I'm trying to say with this, okay? Don't if anybody's talking about this being the sign that Zcash is going to go lower, let me just first say that this divergence formed here at $260. So the lowest you would probably go is down to about like 260 to 200, something in there, okay? And then recover. We know how fast Zcash can recover, so it'd be a matter of no time at all that you're back above these targets here. I really don't believe that we're going to see this consolidation happen here. I think that we're going to go all the way up to $900 and then start to consolidate. But again, it's just something to mention here. That the weekly time frame looks spectacular. The weekly RSI looks great. The MACD looks great. The stochastics look great. There is bearish divergence, yes, but not until the week closes. I'll tell you what, if we close here, if this week closes red, then, only then, will I consider that we are moving back to 260. Until then, I don't think so. I'm sticking with the idea that we move up to $721 to $925, somewhere in that range there. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I think it's plain as day that we have higher to go. Absolutely, I do. In fact, I wonder, actually, what is this high to low here? The 1272, it's right there. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. That's where we're going, guys. Don't second guess it. That's where we're going. Take care. Bye-bye. See you later.